Irish is out. Carlo Paalam, Nesty Petesio, and Yumer Marshall are still in the running. Thank you for sharing your time with us on So Jannelle, Sir Ed Picson, Secretary General of ABAP. In terms of Filipino boxers, we're doing so well. Give us an update about what's going on with the 4 representatives that are fighting under the Philippine flag.
We were happy, Janelle, that we were able to qualify 4 boxers to the Tokyo Olympics. You know, back in 2012, we only had 1 boxer in London. 2016 in Rio de Janeiro, we had 2. And then now in 2020, we have 4. We again doubled it. Who knows? Maybe in 2024 we'll have 8. In the Olympics, it usually takes 5 or 6 fights before you get the gold. It's an elimination process. So once you lose, you're out. In the case of this Olympics, the first round is the round of 32. After the round of 32 is the round of 16. If you win in the round of 16, you advance to the round of 8. Then you go to the semifinals, which means you are assured of a bronze medal at least. That's because a lot of people are asking, how can 4 athletes share in 3 medals? It's gold, silver, and bronze. Well, in amateur boxing, there are 4 medals awarded, 1 gold, 1 silver, and for the 2 losers in the semifinals, they each get a bronze medal.
Yes, and that's why you're saying, as of now, as of this interview, Nesty Petesio is assured of a bronze medal.
That means that she either gets a bronze or she fights for the gold. Most of our boxers, maybe not all, come from the marginalized sector of Philippine society. They make no secret of the fact that they went into boxing because of necessity, because they couldn't find any other means to alleviate their plight. So Nesty, I recall, and she doesn't mind me telling this story, maybe in 2010 or 11, we were in China and we were at a supermarket shopping for provisions, and she was telling me that for the first time in about 3 years, she went home to her province in Davao del Sur, to her home province, to see her family for Christmas. She wasn't yet, that steeped in international competition, so she was saving her allowances. She told me that was the first time that her family ever had a Noche Buena. Can you imagine not having experienced a Christmas dinner in your entire 18, 19 years of existence? And I was so happy for her. So I said, "What did you have? Did you have lechon, and all that, all the trimmings?" I said, "No, not quite that grand." I said, "So what did you have?" "Spaghetti and hot dogs." And she said, her family was ecstatic over it, that they had spaghetti and hot dogs for Christmas dinner. And that really moved me, Jannelle. I said, we gotta do something about these boxers. We have to change their lives. And the story is repeated over and over again. Yumer Marshall, when he won the World Junior Championships in 2011, I surprised him by flying his parents over from Zamboanga. I flew them over to meet Yumer at the airport. And while waiting, Yumir's mom related to me their conditions in Zamboanga. Somehow they were ejected from their property in the city, and they were relegated to a far-off place in the suburbs. And they had to make do with whatever scraps they were able to salvage from their old house. No bedrooms, no bathrooms. They didn't have a flooring. It was dirt. And when ABAP, through Mr. Manny Pangilinan, our chairman, and Mr. Ricky Vargas, our president, gave him his incentive at that time, in 2011, 300,000 pesos for the gold medal. He immediately had their house fixed. They had decent flooring and a bathroom with toilet facilities, and they were over the moon about that. Carlo Paalam was a scavenger. He was going through garbage dumps, trying to get something that he could sell. Irish Magno, it's the same way. I mean, you know, she came up from nothing. That's exactly what we've done for these four boxers and the more that are in the national team. And we'd like for ABAP to continue that mission of changing lives. So far, we've been pretty successful. We wish we could do more.
When you said that, the way you were saying it, also, I was having goosebumps all over. Kasi it's so touching how they basically, kumbaga, we have a saying in Tagalog, di ba, kapit sa patalim? But sila,
Mm-hmm.
kapit sa boxing because that's their way
Yeah.
out, right? So
Only way, Janelle.
yeah, and because of this, I know that they sacrificed a lot in training, and they were willing to, do more in order to make
Mhm.
sure that they excel in this sport. What were some of those sacrifices that you saw?
Well, for one, Janelle, as I mentioned, they spent the entire year with
Training.
ABAP in the training camp. And most, if not all of them, who are boxers are from the Visayas and Mindanao. So they're very far from family. And then, of course, there's the regimen. You wake up at 5:30 in the morning, do your business, and jump into training at 6 o'clock. You do the runs, and in Baguio, it's not really that much fun, especially during the rainy season as it is now. Here in the Philippines, it's rainy season. You know how it is. So, and when you're up in Baguio in the mountain, it can really get very chilly and very uncomfortable. So they train for an hour and a half. After the run, they go to the gym, and then some of them prepare for school. They go to school, and then right after school, they're back in training, and then you have dinner, and then you sleep, and then it's the same thing over and over again. And training in boxing, as I'm sure you realize, is never easy. It is never easy. It entails a lot of physical, hard physical activity. So doing that day in and day out is more than enough to bring a good man down. These boys and girls, young men and women, are very very strong individuals who have endured so much, Janelle.
And when you say strong, that's strong physically as well as mentally, right? Because I know that this, outside of the physical training that they endure, they have mental toughness, but also the situation, because they don't really get, and correct me if I'm wrong, enough support, especially, um, right? From the government, there's not that much support. It's not like other countries where they really fund the training of these athletes to support them.
Well, we have to realize, Janelle, that the Philippines is a third world country. There is a budget allocated by government for sports, but it can never be enough. The thing is, the government supports about 60 sports associations. Um, and with that kind of a budget, it simply won't be enough. But can the government afford to, give more? Now, I'm not privy to the resources of government, but you would think that they also have certain other priorities like education, peace and order, and health, all this, all these, and that sports, when compared to these other concerns, will take second, will be relegated to second fiddle, maybe a far second, maybe down, down the totem pole, very way down. So it is imperative, really, that private sector is able to partner with government. It is a synergy that could spell success. In our case, PLDT Smart and the MVP Sports Foundation have invested so much to try and give the necessary things for the boxers in terms of equipment, exposure, incentives, even uniforms, shoes, and vitamins and supplements and all that, because it really takes a lot. And as our president Ricky Vargas keeps saying, it takes a village. So we cannot rely on government solely. Government will do what it can, but their resources are just not enough. So when private sector comes in and comes in generously, then you see the result. And what we're seeing now is a testament to that.
With that said, how can we support? How can regular citizens support these boxers or athletes from the Philippines?
Well, anyone can give a donation if they want to do that. People sometimes give equipment. They sometimes give shoes, skipping ropes, stuff like that. But of course, the moral support itself. You know, I'm sure you know very well, Janelle, how basketball is like a religion in these parts. But boxing is supposed to be the second most popular, because you see boxing in all the fiestas, which we have almost every day all over the country. In every fiesta, there's basketball, and then there's boxing. But the boxing is a far second to basketball. We're just crazy about basketball. What we need to realize that we have to support other disciplines that are able to compete in the international arena. Some people I talk to in the corporate world says, "Oh no, Manny is already there," meaning Manny Pangilinan. That's Manny's. No, it's not. Mr. Pangilinan has always said, it's not like I'm. This is all my responsibility. It's the nation's responsibility. I'm chipping in. You want to chip in? Come in. The water's fine.
Chip in as much as you can, and I think
Sure.
how do you think will that change, Ed, now that we won our first Olympic gold medal through Hidilyn?
Hopefully, yes. I'm sure. I'm sure there will be a lot of interest in weightlifting. Uh, there already was when she won the silver in 2016, but it wanes,
Yes.
Janelle, after the initial fervor.
Mhm.
If it's not sustained, it'll die away. So it has to be sustained. Both, there are three factors, I think: the government, the private sector, and media.
Exactly.
If media is on top of it, if media gives it enough exposure, then people will be more aware and more interested. The Filipino is a consummate fan. We idolize movie actors and actresses, politicians. Why not sports heroes? And it helps a lot in molding the youth into model Filipino citizens. Uh, mens sana corpore sano, a healthy body and a healthy mind. We should give our youth the opportunity to be such.
You're right about that. Also, giving sports more emphasis, right? I'm a mom now, and speaking to other parents, they're talking about how you get your kids into sports very early so that they learn the discipline, and then when they get older, because of training, they won't stay out late. They won't be drinking, because you need to be in top shape for sports. But also, when you said the responsibility of the media, Sir Ed, you can count on us. On our program, we're trying to do something like this more and more to highlight the journeys of these athletes, right? And so we're very happy that they're doing so well, and we will continue to follow their performance in the Olympics and beyond.
Programs like these, especially uh, being aired in the Americas and with the Filipino population there, I'm sure a lot of our countrymen who are in a better position these days and are able to help will help. Doesn't matter which sport we choose, a sport of your own liking, lend a hand, and it will go a long way, actually. And if media can just sustain the exposure and stoke the interest of the public, both here in the Philippines and abroad, then we should be in a better place.